Hi everyone, Big Pauly back for a brand new video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about dwarfs. I don't think I've ever said that in a sentence before. Yes, this is going to be a pretty laid back video, and I just want to talk about the current state of dwarfism within Hollywood and how it's dwindling. Yeah, so let's get into it, and I've got a few things jotted down here, so yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I have done my extensive research into this. Well, I googled it anyway. Yes, I know. Yes, okay, so dwarfism within Hollywood goes back to like the 1930s. You know, we had Disney with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, even though they were animated. We had Wizard of Oz with the Munchkins, which kind of like put dwarfism and dwarf actors, you know, in the limelight. And there have been many films over the years and TV series where dwarf actors have become really successful. The characters themselves have become identifiable, but that has changed, you know, over the last however many years as we enter like a woke society, and you can't say this, you can't say that. We don't want to be offended by this. We don't want to be offended by that. Now, dwarfs or dwarfism, the name has actually changed over the years. People with restricted growth, little people. I think maybe little people is the preferred term in this, you know, this day and age. But when it comes down to it, they are actors and they are people with dwarfism. So that's where, you know, dwarfs came from. There have been many brilliant films over the years and TV shows where dwarf actors have become really recognisable and just stamped their little part of Hollywood. Look at Time Bandits back in the day. We had actors such as David Rappaport, Kenny Baker, who went on to do Star Wars, Jack Purvis. There's loads of other actors as well. But it put these actors on the map, and they had a wage coming in. They had offers coming in. Talking of Kenny Baker with Star Wars, with the Star Wars, we had the Jawas. So they had dwarf actors in some of the Jawa costumes. In Empire Strikes Back, we had the Ugnaughts. And of course in Jedi, Ewoks. And many dwarf actors were needed to play these Ewoks. And of course that's where Warwick Davis kind of got his big break. He was just a young kid then, but that put him on the map, and it gave him so many opportunities later on in life. Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage. I know Peter Dinklage has come out recently and said that he doesn't like being typecast because of his height. And he just speaks for one person. He just speaks for himself. So, you know, he can't speak for the entire collective dwarfism acting ensemble because that's just his opinion. But the character would not be that character if it had been any other actor or a full-sized adult actor. Willow, you know, the film Willow, that also put Warwick Davis on the map, and also other dwarf actors, members of his family as well, other films as well, the Harry Potter series. We have Vern Troyer, we have Warwick Davis, we have other dwarf actors in there, as well as Austin Powers, you know, where Vern Troyer played Mini-Me. And I don't think anybody else could have pulled that role off, and it made him famous. A few other really well-known actors with dwarfism. Jordan Prentice from In Bruges. We have Marty Kleber from Pirates of the Caribbean, which he's one of my favourite characters in the Pirates film. Tony Cox from Bad Santa, and Deep Roy from The Never-Ending Story. And as time has changed, where people have become more offended by any single little thing, the acting roles for these dwarf actors has dried up dramatically. You don't hardly see any dwarf actors on TV or in film these days, which is really unfortunate. And it's a shame as well. It's like Hollywood's just completely turned their back on dwarfism. Let's go back to Snow White and the Huntsman with Chris Hemsworth. Now, they used some dwarf actors, but they superimposed Ray Winston and Ian McShane's faces over them. Which is kind of like what they did with Crispin Glover in Back to the Future 2 when they turned him upside down. And Crispin Glover went through a massive court case with this, that they used a completely different actor, but used a mould of Crispin Glover's face. Why? I don't know why they didn't just use dwarf actors in Snow White and the Huntsman. And a few of the latest ones that have come out, we've had Wonka with Hugh Grant. Now, although I did enjoy the character of the Oompa Loompa in Wonka to a certain extent, it still took away a possible acting role for a dwarf actor, whether unknown or really well known, that could have done that role. What about the latest incarnation of Time Bandits? Time Bandits was a classic back in the day, and now they just use able-bodied people. And they kind of, this day and age, they kind of call them like mythical creatures and things like that, and wizards and stuff like that. Even the new Snow White that's coming out from Disney, it's just called Snow White. There's no dwarfs in the title at all, even though there are dwarves in the film. CGI, of course, but it's a live action Disney film, so they could have used 7 fine dwarf actors for that. So it could have given lots of opportunity to actors with dwarfism. And as time goes on, there's going to be less and less opportunities for actors, you know, with dwarfism to make their mark in Hollywood, earn money. Because when you think about it, all these roles that have dried up, what's happened to them? They're having to go out and just do a regular job, you know, and not getting the opportunities that they would have had, you know, being involved in Hollywood and acting. So it's kind of, Hollywood has taken that away from them and basically brushed them aside and said, we don't want you anymore. There are probably films and TV shows and actors with dwarfism that I've missed in this little video, but I just wanted to get the point out there that how Hollywood now hates dwarfism and how they've turned their back on the dwarf, you know, actors. And Warwick Davis, you know, runs his own organisation for actors with dwarfism to get into TV, to get into film. And I should imagine that a lot of that has dried up. We're not even getting a Willow season 2, even though I did enjoy the first season because of Warwick Davis getting a leading role in that film, in that series rather. But the rest of the characters were able-bodied. So it's kind of taking opportunities away from them as well. So anyway, that was just a little video. I just wanted to do a little short one because that had been playing on my mind for the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to do a short video and try and get some people's opinions and see what everybody else thinks. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you on the next video very soon. Bye bye.